Doesn't look as if there's anybody on here. Hi Frankie, just having this rice and bean burger and some vegetables and things like that. How you doing? I hope you can hear me properly at least. Hi Duchess. I just come on for a wee chat and kind of talk away about things. I'm just busy having this bean burger and rice and vegetables and all kinds of sorts here. Hi Mohammed Saloom, how are you? Hi Jessica, how are you? I just come on for a chat. I'm just busy getting tucked into this big bean burger with quinoa and bean burger, rice and vegetables. So great. Try to see in the chat here. Yeah, Frankie, I'm doing better. Just a kind of difficult day yesterday, but I think it's part of the eating disorder trying to kind of take over me because it knows I'm beating it in everything that I usually suffer with and try to throw some curveballs my way, but I'm not having it. Thanks for becoming a fan, Anna Marie Master. Hey, Anna may start online, sorry. I'll fan you up as well. So how is everybody today? I hope you're all doing kind of okay at least. It's been a busy week. It's been up and down. Kind of past few days, like I say, I was kind of basically just kind of feeling that I wasn't worthy of being here and things like that. That's just eating disorder talking to me, and no way am I going to buy into it because I want to recover fully and I've got to do it. I hate living with this eating disorder, and it's just every kind of day constantly going through the same rubbish, but I'll get there definitely. I'm sorry if I'm ignoring the chat here. I'm trying to get tucked into this. Also as well, if anybody wants to join in the guest queue and that in a wee while, I'll speak away as well. Thanks very much, Duchess. Like I say, it was just a bad day. Never in a million years do I want to do anything stupid. I mean, I've never been like that. I've never been at the point that I actually want to commit suicide or anything like that. Never. So when people say that about me, that's totally false. It's just the feeling that you go to bed at night and you think to yourself, oh, I don't want to wake up the next day and things like that. Just stupid thoughts, you know what I mean? But I'm getting through it and I'll get there. I've done too well to get this far. Hi Sandcat, how are you? I just come on for a wee chat and I was just saying I'm tucking away into this big bean burger with rice and vegetables and things like that, so busy getting rammed into this. Thanks very much, Frankie. I really appreciate that. That means the world. Like I say, it's just because the eating disorder knows fine only too well that I'm winning and it's what to gain control, but sorry about this. Doing my usual tomato sauce and everything. Crazy. Yeah, tomato sauce. So how is everybody today? I've not really been up too much. I obviously had my wife out at the. She was at the doctor's yesterday and things like that. She's got a new walking type of crutch to help with walking and things like that. So that's got a kind of movement forward at least. Laura's away to have a roll and cheese and onion. Laura's doing absolutely, actually, she's been eating virtually 90% vegan really, and it's, I mean, absolutely great. She's only having a wee bit of meat a week, so it's really, really great. Hi, Lone Rabbit Hadi as well. She is, she's doing well. Yeah, Frankie, I seen you've been quiet on YouTube. I was kind of worried about you, but I know that it's obviously you're busy with your work and things like that. Hi, Lone Rabbit Hadi. I just want to kind of speak about everything that's been going on the past week, and like I say, I'm turning into this quinoa and spinach burger with rice and veg and things as well. So yeah, Laura's here, Sandcat. She's in the chat as well. Also, as well, I wanted to touch upon was Jessica's recent video. She was talking about the OSTRA project, which means Our Story to Raise Awareness. It's basically talking about all our mental health issues and things like that. And she's actually started a blog and things. So January we'll be doing a 24-hour stream and things like that. So that should be amazing to obviously raise awareness for mental health and things. That's great to hear, Frankie, that they're by Australia. I seen your photos on Instagram and that, and they looked absolutely great, all you together and that. That's what it's all about. Yeah, Lone Rabbit had it. It should really be great. It really, really should. Definitely, Jessica. Any way I can obviously help with making a video on it, I'll do that as well. Yeah, but Laurie, you're doing absolutely great. A steak pie at Christmas dinner's not going to, let's say, you've done absolutely great the amount you've cut back in, so it's all about kind of small steps and doing as much as you can. You're doing great. Aspro, I'm not sure exactly who Aspro is. Oh yeah, right, painkiller dissolving water, yeah, I get it now. Aspirin, you mean, yeah. It's just a kind of different. I get terrible headaches. I get like severe migraines, which I get like for like 7 days in a row. Always starts with a little blur in the front of my eye and just gets worse and worse and worse until I can't see a thing. I'm actually on a tablet called sumatriptan, which is basically a preventive that you take before it to try and help. So I'm exactly the same actually. I actually get to the point I can wake up during the night while I'm sleeping and things like that, and I've actually got a migraine. It's obviously started when I'm sleeping. Yeah, exactly, Frankie. Medication isn't vegan, but it's about doing as much as you can, and unfortunately medication you've got to take, so you can only be, as I say, you can only be as vegan as you can possibly be. And when you've got health conditions and things like that, sometimes the greater good, as the same goes. Michael, red to red, ice cold water when you have a migraine coming on. Yeah, definitely, that's a great idea actually. The only kind of thing I usually find that basically helps me is actually to lie in a dark room and try and get as much sleep as possible. That usually helps me, but So yesterday, I wanted to talk about as well. I was obviously at the vigil, my vigil with Save Movement Scotland. So we went to the slaughterhouse that I used to work at, and it was the things that happened was unreal. The truck drivers were actually trying to run Lisa, that runs the charity, over. They were shouting at us, all kinds of stuff, shouting we love beef, and they were actually trying to take photos of us. One of the guys took a photo of me and he's like that, he says, "Oh, why are you trying to hide your face?" I says, "I'm not trying to hide my face." But you know what I mean, they're disconnected, it's unreal. But I find it gets to the point now, every vigil that I go to, I'm getting more and more traumatised by it, because it's so hard to see the animals looking inside those lorries, and they're looking out at you, and they're just wanting love off you. They wouldn't hurt a fly, you know what I mean? It's shocking. Jessica says, "I try to drink water and depends, sometimes a warm face wash, a cold one a day on my hand, depends." Yeah. Thanks very much, Sanka. I'm actually going to a sanctuary that we help work out, that we help kind of endorse in January. So I'll be doing that. I'll be vlogging at that one as well. So like I say, I'm constantly active with it. Yeah, like I say, it's all about tiny steps. Being honest, I'd have been the same as you about a year ago before I started recovery. Try to do a sanctuary or even speak away to people, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I've still got quite a lot of social anxiety actually. I'm great at speaking on here to people. I can speak at Scottish Parliament. I can speak out for doing things for animal activism. But see, when it comes to a phone call, which you might think's crazy, I can't actually phone. I speak on the phone. I get tongue-tied. I get anxiety. Everything. Laura will tell you this. I'm terrible for that. I just can't speak on a phone. It's all part of the social anxiety. Yeah, Duchess, I certainly do. I can certainly get through food, I'll tell you. That's what I always say. I've always loved my food. It's never been a question of food. It's just the eating disorder voice. It's never been the case of hating food. It's about hating yourself, and that's what it's always been about in the past. But I'm getting to the point, I'm beginning to like myself again. Obviously got the bad days like yesterday where I was feeling terrible, but that's just part of the process. I think a lot of it is to do with as well, I'm being too hard on myself. I've got to realise that I've had this eating disorder for 19 years. That's been here more than half my life. I'm now 36, I'm 37 on the 12th of January this year coming. So I've really got to understand that I've came a long way. I have been recovered before in 2002 right through to 2006. I was up to 12 and a half. So I know what it needs to be done and how to get there and things like that. So I know about it, but I just think to myself, how have I not recovered so quickly? How am I not back up to the 70 kilograms that I want to be at? I will get there. I'll be at that point for this time next year, 100% for when I go to Australia. But I just need to realise that it's not going to wake up overnight and you wake up the next morning and click, you're recovered. It just doesn't happen that way. Exactly, slow and steady. So Jessica says, yeah, look back in your past and you will see how far you've come. Exactly. I mean, 18 kilograms I've put on since March time, you know what I mean? Or April, sorry, really. I came on to YouTube in January, so it'll be 1 year next month. But my actual full recovery actually started around April time, so you're only talking April I've put on 18 kilograms. I mean, amazing. Exactly, Jessica. It's like you were talking about this morning, about your weight and things like that, but like you says, It's all about a gradual, slow process, and you've not got to get down on yourself. You've got to realise how far you're coming, that things will kind of start to peter out a bit at times, and not get downbeat about that, and that's what it's all about. You're 100% right there. Yeah, Sandcat, I'm really positive, energetic. I've got a lot of things coming up. Like I say, I'm loving doing my activism and things like that. It's absolutely amazing. And hi Mitzi. Jessica says, yeah, looking at the plateaus, your body has finally accepted changes. Exactly. It's the same with myself. My body's now getting to the point, it's actually believing that I'm going to keep giving it the nutrition it needs. Whereas before, my metabolism had slowed down so much, and it was basically saying, I know you're going to keep starving yourself, so I've got to hold on to this food. And I was never getting to the point, it was just like a plateau. It was never really, my metabolism was that slowed down. Now I've got to the point that I've got to keep adding in more and more food every single time, because my metabolism is slowed up, because it now knows that I'm going to keep feeding it, and it gradually trusts you. Exactly, Sandcat, for your own mental health and the animals, that's exactly what it's all about. Jessica says, my mum is so nice, they're on holiday and there was a vegan grocer, she bought me all kinds of things I can't make it. Oh, that's amazing, yeah. I see, I've got no family that are vegan and that, and they wouldn't, even though they're not vegan, they probably wouldn't buy me any vegan stuff, being honest. They don't seem to endorse it for some reason, or they don't think it's the right thing to do. But I'm trying to hammer home the message, and hopefully it gets through eventually. It's the only way forward. That's great that they've been really accepting that. That's amazing. So finally finished my dinner. Always the usual, got to get in the Pepsi Max. Yeah, Jessica, the cola, I'm addicted to it. I used to go through about 2 and 3 litres a day. But I think as well, I've got to kind of watch with it as well, because it's the point that a lot of the times when you're in an eating disorder, you basically, is it frozen here? Yeah, like I say, when you're in an eating disorder, you've got to watch when you're drinking cola, because I was going through 5 and 6 litres a day. It's basically to give you that illusion that you're full and kind of make you feel that you're getting in calories and stop you from wanting food and things like that. It's very destructive in some ways. I'm trying to wean myself off it and go on to like diluting juice and things. Jessica says, I worked in a supermarket, there was a homeless man and all he would have was cola. He would drink litres per day every hour, so yeah, I'm exactly the same. I don't actually drink water or anything, it's nothing but cola. I mean, I would like to even start getting on to coffee and things like that. So what I was going to talk about as well, I'm thinking about each week, rather than doing a weekly update on my channel, I was thinking about coming on Younow every Tuesday or Wednesday after my kind of meeting with my eating disorder specialist and speak away about how my weeks went and things like that. Would this be something that you would like and things? And I was thinking that would be a great idea. It's kind of more intimate and things like that, rather than just making a video and saying I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. Whereas people can interact with me, and I can speak on a more kind of open level. Like somebody asks me questions and says, how how's this going, or how's this affected you, or this affects me, does it affect you the same way? So I can actually help each other, people in the kind of same situation as well. Yeah, I think it would be great, Jessica, to be honest. Also as well, I was going to speak about my good friend Gareth Owen. He's actually going to be starting a YouTube channel. He's been my friend all through my life and things like that, right from I was a wee boy. He's going to start up a YouTube channel, and we're thinking about doing a Christmas special together and things like that. So I think that would be really, really good. He's going to kind of give you his insight to what I was like before I had an eating disorder, because he knows me a way back from I was a wee boy. He's going to speak about things about the Tommy that he used to know to the Tommy now, and the times he came into the hospital and I was basically on death's door and things. And I think it'd be great to kind of get his kind of take on as well. Duchess says, well, if it adds to your recovery journey, then I think it's a great idea, and it helps others, it's awesome too. Yeah, I definitely think so, yeah. I'm going to be live for about an hour roughly, Jessica. About an hour's time, an hour. I've got another 40 minutes. So what I was going to say about as well, the Save Movement Scotland that I'm doing with, basically the thing that we're going to in January, it's going to be at Mossburn Community Farm Animal Sanctuary. So it's a farm, it's in Lockerbie. So we're going to be going there and kind of doing a lot of activism and things, and basically showing you how the kind of animals that's there that they've saved and things like that. It'll be absolutely amazing, like I say. And obviously as well, we go Vegan Scotland, who have you seen the hat that I've got. I'm actually going to be starting on stalls with them starting in January. So I'll be doing that, basically speaking away to people about how the vegan lifestyle can help them and answering questions, and Earthling's experience VR headset, showing them that. Julie's saying, hey Tommy, glad to see you're doing well. Stay strong, friend. I know you don't know me, but oh, thanks very much, Julie. I'll just fan you up as well just now. Lovely to connect with you on here, Julie. I see anybody wants to jump in the guest queue, please let me know and jump on. But I want to kind of share some things that I've kind of wrote out. I wrote these yesterday when I was kind of feeling down and things, and basically putting life into perspective. It's something I like to do quite a lot, is write journals and basically write kind of stories about how I'm feeling and motivate myself to get better in those bad days. So this is a wee thing I wrote. It says, today, just like any other day, we had to wake up, we had to make a choice, we had to make a choice on what we were going to do with our lives. That moment we made a choice, which direction our life would go today, is one of the most defining moments of our lives, because every day we wake up we have a choice. We can either lay down, let our past or current circumstances we are facing right now to run over us and knock us to our knees, and it will keep us there if we allow it, or we have the choice to get back up and hit back. Life is never far by any means and easy, and nobody ever said it would be. Life is simply what we make of it. No matter how negative the situation or circumstances, if you see different situations and outcomes, it really changes everything in your life. Whether that be depression, mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and disorders, maybe you've got suicidal thoughts, or you've got body positivity issues, you're worrying about whether you're going to gain enough weight, you're going to lose enough weight. But I say, no matter what we go through, if we begin to look at it in a different way, we'll begin to find the lesson and positivity things that these circumstances is trying to present to us. Then we can begin to understand life better and live life on its terms, because that's what it's all about, understanding, living life to the fullest. And like I say, may each and every one of you live your life today, and God bless you in your life's journey. So that's something I kind of wrote yesterday. I just thought it kind of opened up and basically said everything basically I think about. Also, another one I wrote was Lao Tzu, which basically he said a famous quote: "A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. The first step before anybody else in this world believes it, is you have to believe it. There is no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A." Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Being realistic is the most commonly travelled road to mediocrity. What's the point of being realistic? You have to believe that something different than what has happened and can happen. You have to decide what you are going to be and how you're going to get it done. Greatness is not only for God-like special beings, it's inside each and every single one of you. I want to be represented as hope, and that we really can be the light at the end of the dark tunnel. I believe who we are, who we choose to be, the road to success is through commitment and the strength to push on when it gets tough, as it does get hard and we all want to quit sometimes, but it's you and you alone that can change that direction. When you wake up in the morning and your life means more to others than it does to you, so this is motivation, as not only you suffer, but others also suffer if you let yourself get ill. So you live for service to not only yourself, but to a greater good, to your friends, to your partner, to your family, to God, to your church, to your animals, to the planet. That is joy money can't buy. If you're not making someone's lives better, you're wasting your time. Truth, love is the only constant in life, so live, love and do good for others, as this will ultimately be the footprints you leave on the memory of others when you're gone. What you do in life echoes in eternity. And that basically says it all to me, and I just thought that would kind of maybe be motivation to somebody. I will do, Duchess, 100%. I'll keep jumping through every single hurdle any eating disorder throws at me. I've had enough of it and I'm going to recover 100%. Sorry guys, I'm just checking my phone here, it's getting off here. I would drive you to London instantly, Dazzling Frankie, if I was there, 100%. I'll share a little poem with you as well, I think. I'll just throw this out. It's called Memories that I wrote. Crossroads keep old memories, there are flashbacks in disguise. Painful memories of the past keep reliving through my eyes. Demons sneak by Father Time to bring me tears of sorrow. I look upon to the heavens for a sunrise I can borrow. The demons are determined, I need angels standing guard. My smile has been broken and my laughter has been scarred. My soul starts digging deeper for a glimpse of golden rays, still praying for a sunrise and for bright and better days. I wrote that yesterday as well. I love to do these things when I'm having a bad day, just kind of write down things and basically talk about how I'm feeling on that day and things. Thanks very much for the likes, Frankie. This is one thing that my mum always gave me that I would love to share with you. This means the world to me. She gave me this before she died, and she said to me, if I ever follow this in life, that's exactly the way she would want me to live my life. She says, follow this, son, in life, and if you do, you follow this by the way and live life like this, you'll never go wrong. It's called If. It says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look so too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you have gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them back up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one toss, pitch and turn, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor living friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if all men can count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance, run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. That just means the world to me. That was the way my mum said that I was to live my life, and I try every day to try and be like that person. I always say if I can be a quarter of the person that my mum and my dad were, I'll have done well. Thanks very much, Duchess. Frankie, 100%, you need to definitely drive to Scotland, and we'll definitely meet up. It'd be amazing to do that. It's like Duchess says, reflection is really important for growth. That's 100% true. Jessica, my mum done a little bit of writing, but it was mostly my grandfather. I used to sit with him for hours on end. He was a poet, and he done a lot of artwork, like cartoons and things like that. That's where I learned all my kind of the things that I do. I was watching him every single day. But my mum done a little bit. She was kind of shy. She was the kind of person that she would never really speak out, and she had a lot of social anxiety. She'd be even that bad that going into a shop, she would hate asking for things. She was really, really, really anxious. I think that's kind of the nature that I've taken off her in some ways. As I've got older, I'm a bit more like my dad in some ways too. Whereas my dad was really outspoken. He had the kind of attitude that it was like, speak your mind and damn the consequences type thing. My dad was a person you seen was 100% him. If he didn't like something, he didn't agree with it, he would tell you. You know what I mean? My mum was different. She was a really, really timid nature. My dad totally different. And I feel as that when I've got older and things like that, I'm beginning to get a bit more like my dad. Obviously, with the years, I was after my mum died and that, I became a lot closer with my dad. A lot of people won't believe it, but I loved my dad all my life. But at one point when I was a young boy, we used to fight about the craziest of things. We used to sit there and we'd fight about just anything. I mean, about maybe leaving my clothes lying in the house, or no doing this or no doing that, or whatever. It was stupid things, and my mum always worried. She always said, I worry what will happen when I go. Will you be together and look after each other? She knew that, but when my mum died, me and my dad became 100% close, and we just came like that. I mean, my dad was my absolute world, and we stopped all that kind of crazy bickering. I think it was like we were too much alike, and we just clashed heads when I was younger. I was about 13, 14, but my dad was my world. He thought the world of me. Like I say, he always used to go out and boast about his son being the greatest footballer about and things like that, and he would say he can split a defence open with one pass, and he's a great goal scorer and everything. I meant the world to him, you know what I mean? But it was always kind of just silly things we used to fight over. So if anybody wants to come on and guest at all, let me know. Like I say, you can come on and guest and chat away. All the better. Like I say, I've got about another 15 minutes, but so like I say, this week I've got quite a busy week. Obviously, I'll be going to the vegan fete in Glasgow this Saturday. So it's their special Christmas fete, this one. So I'll get a bit of vlogging done at that. Obviously, it's Friday as well. I'll post up the video that I done from our vigil yesterday for Save Movement Scotland. That'll be up on my channel on probably Friday. Next week's going to be really busy. Like I say, I've got a lot of things on. Obviously, I'm thinking about maybe doing a Christmas special, Younow on Christmas Day. Maybe coming on and kind of chatting away about what my Christmas meal is and things like that. And Jessica was actually, I don't know if Jessica, you're still thinking of doing this, Jessica was doing a collaboration that everybody in our Facebook group showing our kind of Christmas meal and things like that, which I think would be great because it would show like how you can be vegan in all different areas of the world. Say like Una in Brazil, obviously yourself in Australia, me in the UK and things like that. I think it'd be amazing because it would show all different cultures and how it doesn't matter where you are in the world that you can still be vegan and have a great vegan option. I've actually got a vegan roast ordered for Sagaya Meats. Basically what it is, it's got sage and stuffing in it, and it's got all your vegetables in the centre and things like that, which seems amazing. It really, really will be. And I'm probably going to get a big vegan. I've spoken to a vegan cake shop that I go to, Delicious their name is, and they're going to do me a vegan gateau, so I'll probably have that as kind of my dessert with my dinner and things like that. So it's the only kind of difficult thing is usually we cook with roast potatoes and things like fat and things like that, which is lard usually. So that's going to be different because I obviously can't use goose fat and things like that. So Laura's will be cooked separately. But what we're thinking of doing this time is using just olive oil. So we're both having like kind of no animal products in with roast potatoes and things like that. But Laura's doing absolutely amazing actually. I'm really, really proud of her. She's about 80 to 90% vegan each week she's having now. She's only having a wee bit of meat back and forwards, which is absolutely great. Like I say, it would be great for people to obviously just snap and you go vegan overnight. That's not possible. Like I say, everybody's got their own limitations and it's just basically doing as much as you can possibly do. Like I say, whether you only do 80% vegan all the time or you do a meatless day a week or you do a meatless meal each day, whatever, as much as little as you can do, that's helping the animals every single day of the week. And we've all got our own limitations, but it's about stopping the supply and demand and the exploitation and the cruelty to animals. I've seen so much of it, and like I say, when I've been doing my videos and things like that, it's getting to the point, like I say, it's very, very traumatic for me because you're in bed at night and you're dreaming about these things and you're seeing the pigs' faces and things like that, and it's terrible. But if anything, it makes you more vegan if you can get my message in that, if you don't understand what I'm saying, because it reinforces that what you're doing is stopping all this happening, or at least on your part, and making a beneficial improvement to the movement and the exploitation of the animals. So it's really made me more vegan, I would say. Somebody said to me the other day, you're the perfect blend between militant and amassed. I says, well, I've never wanted to be militant, and I'll never be militant, but I also want to show people the cruelty that goes on, to reinforce that issue so that people aren't, obviously, it's like I say, it's a supply and demand. As we keep demanding those meat products, they keep supplying, so it's like a drip feed effect. As we keep spreading the vegan message, that will keep lessening and lessening and lessening. Like I say, they talk about there's only 2% of the UK that's actually vegan, which is amazing to think. Nice to see you in the chat, Chris J31, Belinda, and Mia11. I was just basically talking about all the kind of the week I've had and things like that, and like I say, I'm doing absolutely great. I had a bad day yesterday and things like that, but I've come right through it. Like I say, that's just eating disorder trying to kind of take control of me, because it knows I won't give into it as I'm beating it in every area. But it's about fighting every single day. Like every day you choose recovery and you keep fighting on. I can't expect it just to wake up overnight and be fully recovered. I've got to understand that I've suffered this eating disorder for 19 years. I have been recovered before for about 5 years, but just sometimes I think it's a perfectionist in me. That's part of the eating disorder that I had way before I had an eating disorder. I've always had to be the best at everything, and that's the same in my recovery. I always feel to myself, am I doing enough? Why am I not fully recovered? I want to be up to 70 kilograms, so I'm showing everybody the positive message, because that's what I'm on about. I want to be here for everybody and promote the vegan lifestyle and recovery and things. Thanks for becoming a fan. Look, see, I'll fan you up as well, and all the other guys, and it's in the chat as well. Just fanning you all up, Belinda, Meow, and fan you also. I've got you on here as well. So guys, if anybody wants to jump in the guest queue, I would love to speak to anybody. Like I say, I've got about another 15 minutes, and so I say I hope you're all having a great day. Like I say, I was obviously talking about my obviously my vegan activism with Save Movement Scotland. We were at a vigil yesterday at the slaughterhouse that I used to work at back in 1997. And to put you in the picture, like I say, I was obviously not vegan at that point. That was round about the time when I was suffering an eating disorder, when it all started, and I had lost my mum and things. So I seen a lot of cruelty in there. Like I say, one of the times, actually, to not be graphic with you, but there was an animal that had just been actually killed, and I was a meat packer, so I wasn't involved in any of this. I spoken to them and I told them, I says, I hate this cruelty, because I had been forced into this job because I was a semi-professional footballer with Scotland under 16s, but the job centre wanted me to have a second job as a backup, basically, and they forced me into the slaughterhouse. So I said to the gaffer and the boss in there and things like that, I says, I can't stand this torture in here. And he basically says to me, if you can't handle it, he says, man the F up. He says, we're top of the food chain. He says, these animals are here for us. God put them in this earth for this reason. That's absolutely nonsense. Like I say, if you look at the Book of Daniel and things like that, the Book of Daniel tells you that you should live off plants and trees of the earth, obviously plants and seeds of the earth and things like that. And obviously talks about, I'll actually read out some scriptures here. I'm obviously, like I say, I'm a Christian as well, so the actual first scripture in the Bible is in Genesis. It actually speaks about, it says, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit, you shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that have the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, a sixth day. So that's the first scripture, basically showing about that we should be vegan. And like I say, in the Book of Daniel, this is the best one ever. It basically shows you the kind of benefits of a plant-based lifestyle. Like I say, we all know the plant-based lifestyle, being vegan, the many, many health benefits it can have. It can also help reduce cancer, heart attack, stroke. It's also really good for type 2 diabetes. But like I say, for me, myself, I'm just vegan because I'm in eating disorder recovery. I also don't want to be demonising certain food groups, because if I demonise protein, fats or carbs or such likes, the eating disorder will latch onto that. So for me, it's about getting a good relationship with all my food groups, making sure I'm getting protein, fats and carbs. Obviously your fats for soluble vitamins A, D and K, which is essential for hormonal function, especially for women. I would recommend this, definitely. And obviously your protein for your growth and repair, which is basically, if you realise that if you're doing exercise, I'm obviously a personal trainer, which I'll do a lot on my channel further down the line when I'm actually fully recovered, showing exercise and things. But if you can imagine it, it's like foundations of a house, these foundations, you break them down when you exercise, and to build them back up, you've got to get protein in to build the foundations of that house up. So that's exactly what it's like. But in the book of Daniel it says, but Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's rich food or with the wine which he drank. Therefore he asked the chief of the eunuchs to allow him not to defile himself, and God gave Daniel favour and compassion to the sight of the chief of the eunuchs. And the chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear lest my lord the king, who anointed your food and your drink, should see that you were in poorer condition than the youths who are of your own age, so would endanger my head with the king. Then Daniel said to the steward, whom the chief of the eunuchs had appointed over Daniel, Hananiah, Messiah, and Azariah, test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's rich food be observed by you. And according to what you see and deal with your servants. So he hearkened to them, and in this matter they tested them for 10 days, and at the end of the 10 days it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than all the youths who ate the king's rich food. So the steward took away the rich food and the wine and they were to drink, and gave them vegetables. So there you go. Like I say, there's the Bible just basically telling you. Like I say, people obviously say that the Bible endorses meat eating and things like that, which is far from the truth. Like I say, actually, the Bible actually speaks to you about that you should only eat meat in extreme forms of famine. Basically, if you can think of it, if there's nothing left in this earth, like I say, the plants are eradicated out, there's a big crop problem or something like that. That's hardly ever likely to happen, obviously, but that's what the Bible actually kind of talks upon. Yeah, Jessica, I love that as well. Like I say, it's really, really amazing. Like I say, it basically speaks the volumes and things like that. So I think if nobody's wanting to guest, I'll probably sign off with a wee Christmas song for you all, just to kind of brighten the day. Why not? Like I say, that's what it's all about. So wait till I find a good one. I think I'll need to find a right good one in here. Perfect one. Here it is. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voice says, O night divine, O night when Christ was born. O night divine, O night, oh night divine. Laura said I'm terrible here.
The windows are all smashed.
Laura says the windows are smashed. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. See, my wife likes my singing. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. So thanks very much, guys, and I send you all my love. Like I say, I'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully, I think me and Jessica will be coming on Sunday doing a kind of wee mental health thing. Probably Jessica will be streaming this time. Like Jessica says, ha ha Laura, sounds like Michael when I sing too. Yeah, we know the score, Jessica. Sending you all my love, Duchess, Jessica, Sandcat, everybody else in the chat, Frankie, all the new guys that joined. And remember, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Love to you all, guys.